In this video we will briefly present the results of the fascinating research of physicist Dr. Daniel Toorbman, who examined the verses of Sefer Bereshit in the Torah of Israel against the discoveries of modern science. It turns out, says the doctor, that the verses of Sefer Bereshit describe the details of both the formation of the universe and the formation of Earth in an incredibly accurate manner, and this, hold on tight, in the same verses. Yes, you've heard it right. The verses of Sefer Bereshit. Chapter Aleph simultaneously describe both the formation of the universe and the formation of the earth in the same words. You can read it and learn about the formation of the earth, and then go back and read those same verses again, and learn about the formation of the universe. In both cases, the verses are incredibly accurate, including discoveries that were discovered by modern science only in the 20th and 21st centuries, and hold on tight, discoveries that were not discovered by science until our days. This video is a summary. It is highly recommended to read the full article by the doctor. Check out the link in the video description below. So, let us begin. First, we'll examine how the verses describe the formation of the earth. 1. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. First, hashamayim were created, which include all the stars and galaxies, and then haaretz, the earth itself. This is a complete match to science. 2. Hoshek al pnei tehom. Indeed, according to science, at the beginning of its journey, the earth was dark. Sunlight did not penetrate the thick atmosphere. 3. Vayehi, or, indeed, according to science, at this stage the atmosphere began to purify and sunlight penetrated. 4. Vayavdel ben hamayim asher, midahat, larakia, wu ben hamayim asher mi'al larakia. According to science, this is indeed what happened. At first, the water on the entire earth was vapor and not liquid. As the earth cooled, most of the vapor turned into liquid water, the seas and oceans on the surface of the land, while some remained vapor in the atmosphere. 5. Vayomer Elohim yikavu hamayim mitahat hashamayim el makom ehad vetera'e hayabasha. Here, says the doctor, not only is there a correspondence with science, but the Torah even precedes science. It is still not known to science which preceded what. Did the oceans cover the surface of the earth and only then was the land revealed, or vice versa? Did the land exist first and only then were the oceans formed? The Torah teaches us that the first option is the correct one. All we have to do is to wait for science to discover this as well. 6. Vayomer Elohim, Tadshi haaretz, deshe esev mazria zera, itis priose prilamino. Indeed, according to science, plants preceded animals. Animals appear only later on in the Torah verses. 7. Yehi meorat berkia hashamayim, lehavdil ben hayom wuvin halela, vehayu leotat wule moadim wule yamim veshanim. Indeed, according to science, this is the stage when the cycles of the sun and moon in relation to Earth were fixed at 365 days and 24 hours, as we know it today. Initially, the Earth rotated faster, so the length of the day was shorter and the number of days in the year was greater. 8. Vayomer Elohim, Yishretzu Hamayim Sheretz Nefesh Haya. This is where life was created. Indeed, according to science, life was created only now after all the events we've mentioned. 9. Viav Yi Ofef Al Ha-Aretz. Here the birds were created, but according to science, living creatures on land preceded the birds. The doctor points out that the entire Sefer Bereshit chapter is intended for humans reading it, so the birds and animals mentioned are the birds and animals we know today, not ancient creatures that have become extinct. The birds we know today, according to science, were indeed created before the land animals we know today, which appear in the Torah after them. 10. Vayas, Elohim, et hayat, haaretz, lamina, ve'et, habehema, lamina. Here the animals we know today were created. Indeed, according to science, the animals of our time were only created after all the aforementioned events. 11. Vayivra Elohim et ha'adam. Indeed, according to science, man was created last. Amazing, isn't it? But wait, this is just the beginning. The doctor explains that those same verses, those very words, also teach us about the creation of the entire universe. A supernatural text. Here are those verses from a cosmological perspective. 1. Berashit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. The shamayim are the spirituality beyond this world. The aretz is the physical universe. 2. Ve'haaretz. Heta tohu vavohu. Tohu in Hebrew means emptiness, vacuum. Bohu in Hebrew means bohu, there is in it. How is it possible? Emptiness that there is in it. It turns out, says the doctor, that this is exactly the picture of the universe that was, according to science, at the moment of its creation, the Big Bang. Emptiness without any physical matter, but full of quantum fields, which science names quantum vacuum. From these fields the Big Bang was created. Emptiness that there is in it, tohu vavohu. 3. Vehoshe al pnei tehom. Hosha is what science nowadays calls dark energy. It was discovered only in the 20th century. Tehom expresses infinite depth. Indeed, according to science, at the beginning, dark energy filled the universe. 4. Ru'ah Elohim. According to science, a tremendous force then has set in motion what is known as the cosmic inflation. Here the Big Bang began. There is no better appropriate expression for this tremendous force of motion than a wind from Hashem, Ru'ah Elohim. 5. Me rahefet al pnei hamayim. To hover above means to be in the same place as another entity but without touching it, without interacting with it. Water here expresses the fields of quantum particles. Indeed, the cosmic inflation occurred, as the doctor says, over all the fields of matter existing in space but did not touch them or interact with them. Particles were not yet created. The Torah is remarkably accurate in this too. 6. Vayomer Elohim Yehi, or. Indeed, according to science, at this point the Big Bang reached its peak. A coupling of dark energy with light was created. Energy was converted from one to the other, and an immense light flooded the entire universe. We perceive the remnants of the light of the Big Bang in telescopes to this day. This is the cosmic background radiation that reaches the Earth from all directions. 7. Vayavdel Elohim ben ha'or wuven ha'hoshe. According to science, as the primordial Big Bang calmed down, the coupling between dark energy and light faded and perhaps disappeared altogether. Light and darkness were separated, just as the Torah states. 8. Vayehi erev vayehi boker yom ehad. A day in the Tanakh, says the doctor, expresses a period of time, not necessarily a 24-hour day. There is much evidence for this, as can be seen in the doctor's article and in a complete article on the subject with dozens of sources on the Yahadut Bibdika Mada'it website. 9. Vayavdel ben hamayim asher midahat larakia, wuben hamayim asher mi'al larakia. Recall that from the cosmological perspective, water expresses matter. Now it was only in the 20th century that science discovered the existence of dark matter and antimatter. But science does not know how to explain how dark matter was created, or where all the antimatter disappeared. Says the doctor, here there is a scientific prediction. The Torah tells us about the process of separating matter from antimatter or dark matter. We can only wait for this process to be discovered with scientific tools. 10. Vayomer Elohim, Yikavu Hamayim Mitahat Hashamayim El Makom Ehad Vete Ra'e Hayabasha. In cosmology, matter is called fluid because matter flows freely according to the forces of gravity acting on it. This verse teaches us about the flow and formation of matter, namely the formation of galaxies, stars and planets named Yabasha. 11. Vayikra Elohim Layabasha Eretz. There was one planet that Hashem called Eretz. Now we can go back to the beginning of the parasha and read it again, this time from the perspective of the formation of Earth itself as we've seen. Amazing, isn't it? Notice the supernatural points we have seen here. First, in the very same verses, the Torah of Israel teaches us about both the formation of the earth and the formation of the entire universe. Second, on both perspectives, the Torah is incredibly accurate, stating scientific information that was only discovered by modern science in the 20th and 21st centuries. Third, the Torah mentions details that were not yet discovered by science even nowadays. Yes, it sounds crazy, and the truth is that it is exactly what it is. Again, we recommend reading the full article by the doctor to get the full picture. See links below. The Torah of Israel, Emet.